and welcome to Lauren Reed Color. It's time for another update for my personal challenge for July. In this challenge, I have combined two popular trends in the coloring community. The first one is the page hopping trend, and the second is the color for 30 minutes a day. In my case, I have been coloring for 31 minutes over 31 days in 31 pages, and I've been having a lot of fun so far. If this is the first video you're watching about the challenge, I will link the explanation video in the description box so you can check it out. But basically what it involves is choosing random pages, random palettes, and just coloring for 31 minutes. Today I'm going to show you my progress so far for the third week of the challenge, and then we will be choosing the palettes and pages for the remaining 10 days. That's all that's left for the challenge, and to work it out with all of the other videos that I want to do, I think this is the best approach. Nevertheless, I will have one more update video where I show you what I did in the final week of the challenge, and then the remaining 3 pages will also be in my completed pages for July video. So after all of that talking, let's get started. For this challenge, I've been coloring in Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford and using palettes from Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cubes. All of the palettes for today's video are from the 3rd volume of the Color Cubes. And let me show you what I did. So the first page that I colored, I have everything marked, is this copyright page with the keys. And I used this palette, and particularly I used these 2 colors. If I remember correctly, it is Polychromos pencils, and I colored this key. It was a 31-minute process. I tend to do a lot of shading on these keys. I will also be doing the rest of this page using the same palette, and I'm thinking that this key is going to be these blues, or perhaps this color and black to get like a rose gold. But if I did that, I would have to add a yellow pencil, and there isn't any yellow anywhere on this card. I mean, I could take the yellow that's in the reference picture, so it would also work, but I'm leaning towards the blue, and then the rose in the middle will be the red color. I'm also thinking of perhaps doing some sort of feathery background, or perhaps putting in a frame of some kind, either a frame around, and then using my own personal distress ink technique for the background, or perhaps a circle. I haven't yet decided, but I do think that I want some sort of background, and I think it needs to be framed somehow. So that's that page. The next page that I did is actually this double page spread. So if you were watching last week's update, you know that the paper in this book does not like water. Can I just give you a quick peek at that page, if I can find it? Here, wait, it's here. Okay, so not this past week, but the week before that, I did this page. I started it, and I used Neocolor 2s with water, and I got bleed through. So I was thinking what I could do to prevent bleed through on this double page spread, because I did want to use Neocolor 2s. I wanted to get a nice muted smoky background. And by the way, let me just show you the palette. This is the palette for this page. So obviously I used the pink. Anyway, so I was thinking, what could I do? And then I remembered that Joanna Stone has a video where she shows how you can blend Neocolor 2s using a blending tool. So that's what I did. I put down 2 layers of Neocolor 2s, and then I took a blending tool, very, very lightly damp, and then I blended with the blending tool, and it worked. So it did have a tiny bit of bleed through, not as much as on the previous page that I showed you, but I'm okay with a small little spot of pink there, because my idea for this is also to have some sort of smoky distress ink background. So either I'll frame it like I plan to do for this one, or just put some of the color down, and I'll use the same pink color. So that's not going to be a problem. And on this side, it did not bleed at all. There is a tiny bit of ghosting. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but there is a tiny bit of ghosting. However, once I put the color pencil down for the background on this page, the ghosting will not be visible at all. So I'm really thinking that that is a good technique to use in this book. I have another technique that worked, which I'll show you on a later page. Anyway, so next page that I worked on is the origami room. Hold on, let me make sure I'm on camera. Is the origami room. This is the palette that I used on this page, and I put it down using Faber-Castell Art Grip Aquarelle watercolor pencils, and I'm thinking that I will either leave it dry or perhaps try and activate it using really tiny amounts of water. I will have to check first. I definitely won't do that for the black because that will definitely bleed through, and perhaps even the blue. I don't know, I will see. But in any case, I'm really enjoying coloring this page. I have put all of the colors that are in the palette on the page down. So I've got the green for the walls, and the floor and ceiling are this beige color. All of the colors are in the carpet. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for the rest of the elements, but it's only going to be this palette. I think this palette is perfect for this page. So that is that one. The next page that I did is this apothecary shelves page. I also have a protective sheet because I used the Derwent drawing pencils, which are really soft and creamy, and I didn't want any transfer. And the palette that I used for this one is this lovely pancakes palette, which made me hungry. Anyway, I also did the Neocolor 2 and then blended it out with the damp blending tool. I did go over the lines, but there was no bleed through at all, for which I am really, really happy. Yeah, absolutely no bleed through. And I don't mind that I've gone out over the lines because the background is going to be really dark, perhaps a black or a really dark brown, because I want to have smoky effects on the page as well. And if the background is really dark, the smoky effects will be more apparent. Yeah, so I enjoyed coloring this one a lot, and I will definitely be continuing. And the next page that I did is the summer fruits page. So I also put some protective sheeting down there. So I used Derwent Color Soft pencils for this one, and I ended up fudging the rules of the challenge a little bit. So I switched two palettes around. One of the subscribers who was watching suggested that I do that, and after considerable consideration, I decided to take her advice. So originally, this is the palette that I used, but originally the palette that was selected randomly was this one, but that subscriber suggested that this palette would be better for this page and this one would be better for the key page, which I will show you in a few minutes, and I agreed. So just a little bit of fudging of the challenge, and right now all I've been doing is the green. So it is this green from the palette. Yeah, let's put my protective sheet back. All right. The next page that I did is this wallpaper page, and the palette for this one is the 699 with this lovely gradient. So far I've only used this color, and this is the other water technique that I used to get around the paper in this book, and it is based with White Knight's watercolor pencil, and then it is activated with tiny amounts of water, and there has been absolutely no bleed through. So I am thinking that watercolor pencils, the light colors, I think the light colors will be great. I think if I put a dark color, it would bleed. But light colors of watercolor pencil and activated with small amounts of water will be fine on this paper, and I will avoid the dark colors for basing. So that is fine. Yeah, and in fact, interestingly enough, I think that this was the page I enjoyed coloring the most because it was just so relaxing. I didn't have to switch pencils. All I needed to do was the same pencil, activate, put more pencil, activate. It was so soothing, so relaxing. I think so far, this is the page that I've enjoyed in the challenge the most. Okay, and the final page that I did is, one moment, the key page. This is the last key page in the book. So there are 3 key pages, and I got them all for the challenge. And as I said, I used this palette, and I'm going to be using this palette for the entire page. So I'm really looking forward to it. I do want to add something in the middle. I think that these middles, all of the key pages, have these really blank center areas. Let me find another one that I've I've done, like, for example, this one as well. I mean, this one has these little butterflies, but I'm thinking of maybe putting some leafy tendrils into the middle. And where was the other one? The other one was the filigree key with the lock. It's this one. So here too, I might add something in the middle just to give it a little bit more oomph. But we will see. Okay, so those are all of the pages that I did in week number 3, and now we are going to choose the palettes and the pages for the rest of the challenge. Time to choose our new palettes and our new pages. I am using volume 4 of Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cubes. I used volumes 1, 2, and 3 for the first weeks of the challenge. And I am also using a wheel that I created from the spinthewheel.io website because someone asked me what I was using. And I'm also using the random.org random number generator to pick the pages and the palettes. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Now we have, let's do the pages first. So it's 1 to 75 because there are 75 pages in the book. So all I do is I generate all 10 palettes and all 10 pages to begin with. Then I pull it all out and then we match the palettes to the pages. Okay, so let's do all that. If I get a duplicate page, I will regenerate. So 66, 16, we're doing 10 this time. We've had 29. 74, we did 18, 13, I don't think we had 24. We had 25. Generate 62. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 more. And 9. 16 we have already. 27. 2 more. 57. I don't think we had 57. And 65. Let me just make sure that we didn't have any of those. No, we did have 57. So let's do 57 again. 73. Okay, so those are our pages. Now let's do the palettes. So the palettes are 751 to 1,000. Okay, so let's generate 973, 785, 984, 981, 764, 840, 944, 774, 898, and 881. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out all the palettes and mark down the pages. I have all of my palettes and I have all of my pages marked, and now we're going to match the palettes to the pages. It is going to be as much of a surprise to me as to you because it's all random and I have no idea what's going to be matched. Right, so the first page is, it is this lost property items. It is a double page spread, but I think I'm only going to do this side, and the palette is this palette, which I think is actually a very good one because there are some summary items on this page. We have this floral hat and the bonsai tree and this beach bag tote, which I think would all look really good in these colors. I'm not sure that I will do the rest of the page in these colors. I will have to see when I eventually get to completing the page way later down sometime in the future. Okay, so that's that one. The next page is, I love this page. This is the hobby room page. It's got a sewing machine and all of the things for measuring, but it's also got paint brushes and paint and plants. So I'm considering this a a hobby room, because also wool for knitting. Now the palette for this one is this one, but I think I might fudge again, because I think this palette will do much better on a later page that I saw. So if I do keep the same palette, I think I will use the yellows and oranges to do the wood. So the chair, the desk, the shelves, but I might switch out this palette for one of the other ones. We'll see. We'll see what palette gets to that page, and then I can make a more informed decision. Okay, the next page is, it's the final wallpaper page. I got all the keys and all the wallpaper pages. So yeah, so this, actually I love this page. I think it's beautiful. It reminds me of a lot of Hannah Carlson's Florals with Butterfly pages. So the palette for this one is this, and I think it is a good palette. I might do blue leaves and pink flowers and orange butterflies. Oh yeah, I think this would be a really good palette for this page. Okay, that one's fine. Next we have the aquarium. It's also a double page spread. This is the page where I have some bleed through. The color palette is this one, which will obviously not be the entire page, but I can do all of the aquarium tanks with this palette. So they can be these bronzy gold colors, and then later on I will find a different palette to do the other elements, but we can start off with the bronzes for the fish tanks. Yeah, so that's fine too. Okay, next we have the honey hive page. This is my favorite page in the book, and I'm thinking of switching this palette out. So perhaps we'll do this palette for this page, because I think it's far more suitable, and that means that this one will be the one for the hobby room, and I think that's much better because I can do some of these items in these colors. So the lamp can be the yellow, and I can make all of these utensils like a set and do them in blue. So yeah, this will be a better palette for this page. Okay, wait, let's go back. We did that one, we did this one, we did that one. Yeah, so this is going to be the palette for this page. Okay, and then next, all the others are at the back of the book. So we have this one, the, I don't know, Halloween items. Oh, it's so cute. And this is the palette. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, we can do all the potion bottles with these colors, or even the little jars with the little sea creatures in them, or even perhaps the teacups and teapot, or but there are lots of options to use this palette. Yes, so there's that one. And then we have 65 and 66 and 73 and 74. So they're facing pages. So here we have these two, and the palettes, don't tear the pages, Lauren. The palettes are this one and this one, which I think actually work really lovely together. So this is the tea in the conservatory jar page. Some nice greens to do the leaves. Obviously, I'll add other colors later, even perhaps some of these colors. And then this side is the office. And yeah, we can use all of these beiges and browns for the wood, the shelving, the chair, things like that. So I think those two are good. And then the last two are the telephone and the potted plant bathroom page. So here we have, if I remember correctly, it's this one and this one. Again, these are really good matching palettes, but I will add other palettes. So perhaps switch them around, do it this way. Let me have a look at my notes. Let's look at the, so it's 881. No, it's not 881. It's 7 through 73 is 898. Yes, so it's this one. And 74 is 984. So it's that one. Yeah, so I think that's even better. So we can do the telephone red. Oh, I love telephones. Yes, they're very cool. And we can do the leaves here with these colors. And we can put some of the colors from this one in here and some of the colors from this one in here. So I actually think these two palettes are going to work out really great. Yes, perfect. Okay, so yeah, those are all of my palettes and my pages for the last week of the challenge, or the last 10 days of the challenge. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you will tune in for the final update and for the completed pages when I show you everything. Right, so thank you again everyone, and I hope to see you all soon for future videos. Bye for now.